these are ribosomes, and ribosomes are on the rough ER. And so what exactly does the rough ER do? Well, the rough ER has several crucial functions. So it has several crucial functions. And we're not going to talk about every single one. We're only going to talk about the main ones. So the one function is it makes secreted proteins, and it does that because it has all these ribosomes attached. And when we learn about ribosomes, we're going to learn that ribosomes are protein makers, and we will go through that one next. And so it makes all these secreted proteins, and it also integrates proteins in the cell membrane. Now, when we learn about the cell membrane and everything that the cell membrane is actually made up of, you will learn that it has these proteins inside or in the cell membrane, and that's why it integrates these proteins in that cell membrane. Okay, so let's continue. All right, so continuation of video 2 here. All right, so what's the next organelle that we are going to discuss? Well, we're going to discuss our ribosomes. Remember, those ribosomes are, now they can be of one of two places. They can be attached to our rough ER, so they can be attached to, I'm going to abbreviate here, rough ER, or they can they can freely float in your cytoplasm. Now, those are the two places that ribosomes can be within your cell. But what do they do? Well, I've already told you, but they make protein. And protein, you will learn, is very important when we get to our biomolecule section. So they make protein, and that is it. They make protein. Now, the next structure, and these are just balls. So these are what they look like, and they're either floating freely, or let me draw just a portion of our rough ER, or they are attached to the outside of our rough ER. Okay, so the next organelle that we need to discuss is our Golgi body. Now, Golgi body has several different terms that they use to talk about it. Now, they can either say Golgi body, or it's also known as, that's what that stands for, Golgi complex, or Golgi apparatus. Now, when you hear any of these terms, it's talking about the Golgi body. Now, what does it look like? Well, if you remember, it looks like, this is how I drew it. It kind of looks like a Wi-Fi symbol. It's a little more complex than that, but when we draw it, that's just how we identify it. But it's all these folds and ripples, and they're all together, and that is what they are. Now, I call this the post office of our cell, because that's exactly kind of its function. It changes and packages, and because it packages, that's why I call it our post office, proteins or cell products. I'm just going to say cell products because it does do more than just proteins. So it changes and packages these cell products that our cell is constantly making. And that is the Golgi body. Now, the next one that we're going to discuss under our cell parts video is lysosomes. Now, if you remember, I like to say that lysosomes remind me of Pac-Man. They remind me of Pac-Man because they're constantly going around the cell. They're cleaning, they're eating things that, you know, we can call them our trash can. So they act like a trash can. And so these contain enzymes, and these enzymes speed up reactions. So they contain enzymes, they speed up chemical reactions, because everything inside of our body is a chemical reaction. They also speed up digestion, hence why they're called our trash can. So they speed up digestion, and these are just circles within our cell. That's what they resemble. The next organelle that we're going to be talking about is a vacuole. Almost sounds like vacuum, but it's not. But you could think of it as a vacuum, because our vacuum contains dirt, contains whatever we vacuum up inside of our house. Well, this vacuole holds materials like water. So this holds materials like water. And these are large in a plant cell. So a plant is going to have larger ones because it needs to contain all that water. My daughter's awake, so I've got to hurry up this video. Okay, so plants only contain, and I told you guys, they have a cell wall, and the cell wall surrounds the cell membrane. Shh, okay, baby, come here. Come here. So it surrounds the cell membrane. It's okay. And so therefore it supports and protects plant cells. And if we were to draw a cell of a plant, this would be the cell wall. This would be the cell wall. And inside here, this would be, and I'm going to put CM for cell membrane. Now the last thing that a plant has is chloroplast. Now chloroplast contains chlorophyll. And chlorophyll is what makes the plant green. So it gives the plant its green pigment. And chloroplast is used for photosynthesis. And we will discuss photosynthesis at one point in time. So that is everything as far as our cell parts or organelles that we have inside of our cell. We will discuss in the next video cellular processes. So make sure you're tuning in for video 3. Have a great day.